Hello, everybody. Welcome to the RSN Wrestling Podcast. This is a very special edition. Today, we're doing the preview for Takeover and Survivor Series. This is the mastermind right here, the Sal, and on the other line we got the head of the Twitter page, all the rumor mill stuff and all that stuff up to date. The big guy, Rich.
What's up, guys?
And today, of course, we're talking about Takeover and Survivor Series, right?
Yep.
Pretty big deal, right? A big weekend. Basically, it's going to be 3 days in Toronto. I think in Canada. Well, actually, I stand corrected. 5 days, right?
I believe so.
5 days indeed. So 5 days of basically nonstop WWE coverage. I know our one of our the third end of RSN stuff to catch up on. But as time goes on, we'll have to see. By the way, Rich.
Well, what's good about him doing this right now is he's on a week vacation from work starting on Tuesday.
Yep.
So he's going to make up a lot of ground, he said.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a good thing.
Yeah, that's a good thing indeed. But here's one thing too.
Since we're talking about Nick.
Yeah.
Why don't you inform the fans of the site that he is the runner of?
Yes. I've said this story many, many times. I'm sitting in class. I got nothing to do. I want to follow my latest wrestling, news and everything like that. I want to watch my favorite program. But the next thing you know, you don't have the time because, of course, we're New Yorkers. For example, we're in New York. We're going back and forth doing shit. We're busy all the time. So it's hard to catch up.
Work, all that.
School work, everything. So what do you do instead? Hop on over to ProWrestlingOpinion.com. Get up to date.
Everyone in New York has a smartphone,
Yep.
computers,
Mm-hmm.
tablets, iPads, work computers.
Yep. This is a technological age, so you guys, if you don't have access to that, of course, you can do that. By the way, this isn't a subscription service for a magazine, a quote-unquote certain kind of magazine out there that,
or a certain website.
It's not a certain Observer or anything like that. It's not a certain, guy named Dave. It's just, it's this guy. His name is, I think it was the Nick Lopez, right? There's only one, right?
Well, there are many Nick Lopez's, but there's only one
Nick
Lopez.
The Nick Lopez that runs PWO, Pro Wrestling Opinion. Speaking of that, we're heading into the new year. So, of course, 2017 is right around the corner. We're already, can you believe it, almost at the end of November? Like, we're almost there. We're almost to December.
Well, as wrestling fans, this is friggin' WrestleMania season.
Indeed,
the unofficial WrestleMania season.
Yep, the unofficial start of WrestleMania season, basically. But
the official one is January.
Yep. But of course, which means also other things are coming. Also, of course, the new year comes, Royal Rumble comes in, a whole bunch of other stuff. So, before we go into talking about the podcast specifically right now, Survivor Series and Takeover, I want to show you guys about what we're gonna have planned. Basically, there's a whole bunch of things going on in 2017 that are gonna happen, and we're gonna make it happen. So, RSN Wrestling Podcast, if you know, we're already in our second year. Next year's gonna be our third year. Can you believe it?
To be honest, I can't believe we made it this far.
I know, it's crazy. We're still growing, so that's another thing too. And again, we thank you guys for the support. But as a treat for that, I want to show you guys something that's basically going to be showing up what's going to happen for the future. So stay tuned.
Before you start the video, I have to throw a little side comment in.
Yeah.
Unlike a certain network or a certain website that makes you pay to watch shows, we at the RSN Podcast and on behalf of Pro Wrestling Opinion, we do not charge you for your entertainment.
Indeed. What other site? What other place can you get, the up-to-date news, review,
rumor mills.
Yeah, rumor mill stuff, and a podcast, basically that wraps everything up all together. But let us stop speaking and let's see this video first of all. See what's going.
I know. I just wanted to throw that little comment in there, little shot.
So let's check this out. Oh, nonetheless, what do you guys think of that? This is the RSN Wrestling Podcast. Like we said, we're doing big things. We're continuing to grow. We're doing more and more things. Of course, there's more yet to come. We're not done yet. So just like we said, this is basically our stamp on the wrestling industry. This is our passion. We're doing this, guys, for you because we're deeply passionate about this. I think you agree with that, right, Rich?
I agree 100%.
Indeed. But I mean,
And as I said before, you guys, the fans, might compare that song to Blake and Murphy's song. Because that just sticks in my head. I don't know why.
It does. I mean, indeed. I mean, well, I picked something basically. Well, if I don't know if this kind of brought me back to kind of like I don't really remember back in the day when I think it was like probably 3-4 years ago when WWE had like they were doing
when they first debuted it.
Yep, and then they started with that one promo in 2012, and then a year later nothing happened, and then it was like okay, when the network coming, and then eventually came in later on. So I mean, basically, it's just bringing up. We're kind of drawing parallels, basically saying that okay, we're trying to be different from every other podcast out there. We're trying to be something different, trying to be an alternative. So that's
and if you think about it, a lot of the other wrestling podcasts don't have a video like that. They don't have intros. They go straight into it.
That's one thing. I mean, the styling, of course, and if you check all three of us, we kind of bring a different feel when we're doing the topics and all that stuff. So definitely you could check that out also on our YouTube page. But nonetheless, I mean, by the way, Rich, you said that we said earlier. I think you saw it probably in the video too. That you run our Twitter page, right?
Yeah, and being the fact this is the season now, there's going to be multiple posts every single day.
Yep, indeed. And like
this is when all the rumors of the return start happening.
Yep. So this is like where the big things, like big return rumors come happening and all that stuff. It's back and forth.
And I give you a lot of props for deciding to make the Twitter page around this time.
Yep. I mean, you
made it around the perfect time.
Well, I mean, I was a collaborator for that's one thing. I mean, of course, it was kind of like, okay, should we do it? And then we picked the right time to do it. So that's pretty good for both of us. Of course, we made sure that we were able to do it because last year we didn't have that. The year before we didn't have that. But now,
because we only started with just the YouTube page and Facebook page.
Yep. And like you said, about 2 years ago, all we had was really just a YouTube page and PWO. That's it.
I remember when we first started, it was just me and you.
Yep, just us.
Nick wasn't even involved yet.
Nick wasn't involved, exactly. It was just RS, and then we had RSN later on.
It was, if I recall, the actual name of the podcast was Suplex City Podcast.
The Suplex City Podcast, I guess. Yeah, that's then, right off when
And then we got banned.
And then we got banned, of course, yeah. But then we re-uploaded it, and of course, I bet Paul Heyman's pissed right now. So, sir, we are deeply sorry for that, for infringing on your, on your property. But like we said,
we apologize.
Yes, but deeply we are saying thank you. Thank you very much for being the genius that you are. So, props to you, sir. But
hats off to you.
Hats off to you, indeed. But indeed, I heard you had some rumors, right, regarding tonight's Takeover and Survivor Series.
Well, it wasn't really tonight. It's more tomorrow that I have a few rumors and a women's wrestling rumor
Really? What's the rumor?
Well, which one do you want me to start with? Because the
Oh,
women one is actually someone who you like a lot.
really? I mean,
Yes.
here's one thing. Basically in this podcast we're kind of breaking down Survivor Series and Takeover, right? So Takeover, I mean Survivor Series, we kind of pretty much talked about the 3-man matches on the card, right? The
But we
three,
could still go more into depth, though.
right, right. So I mean, yeah, I guess yeah, you can talk about the woman. Yeah, what's the one that you're talking about?
Well, if you recall, when we and you worked at CDS, who was the one women wrestler you always were in love with?
Well, Shelly Martinez.
She is coming to WWE.
Really? Even though she has all that heat?
Yes,
Damn, that's crazy. And she has a heat with a lot of people, doesn't she?
she does. But I guess they resolved it.
Interesting. Wow. So she's really coming back to WWE as what? The vampire, whatever that shit was?
No, as Shelly Martinez.
Shelly Martinez. Damn.
She will be
Couldn't see
competing
Apostle
in
what,
the.
Elliot?
She will be competing in the women's tournament, the women's
Really?
classic, or whatever.
Oh, that's interesting. So maybe she might be a luchador. You never know.
Luchadorette.
Yep, luchadorette. Yeah, you never know. Maybe like a sexy star. I mean, that's probably what WWE is trying to shoot for. Maybe.
Which we all know she won't be in WWE Sexy Star.
Doubt it. Doubt it. Yeah, she probably won't. But I mean, well, here's one thing. Of course, you know the women's tournament. There's rumors of that happening, and it seems like it's getting
And
closer and
there's
closer.
many, many names that I've said that have been leaked to it.
Yep.
There was Velvet Sky, Angelina Love, now Shelly Martinez.
Yep. But I mean, it's continuing to get more and more interesting now. Which women are they trying to bring in now? Of course, the beautiful people. Love to see them come to WWE. That's been a dream for a long time. So hopefully we can see them. What about Victoria?
No, she's officially retired.
Really?
Yeah, she too many injuries. Plus, she has the bar, the squared circle.
Really?
She wants to start a family.
Interesting. So she's probably just. It's like the same thing as
If
Trish.
she does come in, she's probably going to be like Lita,
Yeah,
doing
probably.
the pre-shows and all that.
Right, right. But still, I mean, that's true. I mean, these are people from like the last 5, 10 years, and now you see them. They're kind of now they're getting older. It's like holy shit, like damn, time's flying mad quick. Like
Look
now.
at Davey Richards. Davey Richards is retiring at 33 years old.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, here's one thing. It's good that they're retiring now because they're seeing what's happening later on to wrestlers. So of course, if you were to like look at Terry Funk for example, legend, no doubt, but
He's like 70 something.
yeah, and he's all injured, banged up, and everything, bruised, giving his life to the fans. So
He officially just retired.
yeah, and he's been semi-retired. He's been retired for a long time. Like he's been saying, "Oh, I'm retired," but making
But he does his little
forever.
pop-ups here and there.
Yeah, little pop-ups, but still, like it's interesting. Like now they're like, for example, Daniel Bryan, he retired. Who else? Edge, young Hall of Famer, retired because they're looking at all these things and like, okay, maybe we should stop for a little bit and look at our real lives. So that's understandable, but still, it's kind of sad.
Shawn
But
Michaels.
Shawn Michaels too, indeed. Well, he retired later on, right?
40, I think he retired.
40 or yeah, 40 or 50, I think, or almost 50.
Something like that.
Yeah, but still, I mean, it's interesting to see that 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 you're seeing this trend that more and more people. I guess it's also because of this concussion lawsuit bullshit, right?
Chris Nowinski.
Yep.
Remember him?
Yep. Mhm.
He retired at like 35 or some shit.
Yep. Now he's heading like the concussion research center, so that's something it's interesting, and that's made leaps and bounds for WWE, of course. But
I
I
think
mean,
David Otunga should retire.
I think most people should. Like, it's just like, come on, like, there's no point now. But we have to see from there. But what about So with Takeover, what's the card look like so far?
Well, as you all know, the main event is Joe versus Nakamura.
Right, right.
What's your take on that match?
Well, I mean, I've been watching NXT for a while now. Like, I can tell you,
Oh, what was the line you just said?
I haven't been watching NXT for a while now.
I know somewhere where you could actually catch up before the show starts.
Yes, yes. But I mean, as of now, it's still, it's I think a little bit What'd you call it? I say it's still not there yet. It's still going. Of course, you're talking about MPWO, right?
Yes, I am.
Yes, yes. I mean, of course, it's a little bit behind, but
You're
we're
welcome.
still.
You're welcome, Nick, for that little cheap plug right there.
Indeed, another cheap plug. But PWO, go check it out, indeed. But I mean, nonetheless, I mean, of course, of course, I've been watching NXT for a while now, so I barely, I catch up on it. And most that I see is just basically highlights that have gone on in the past, like I'd say, uh, past few weeks about the classic and everything. Dusty Rhodes Classic, but I haven't seen anything else with this whole build up with Nakamura and Joe.
Well, I could give you a quick run through, basically, of the past couple weeks.
Yep.
Well, as you know, Nakamura was quote unquote injured, which is a neck injury.
I see.
Joe was on a little rampage against Regal, saying, "I want my rematch," or "Everyone's going to suffer on the roster." Blah blah blah.
But didn't he attack Dan Mehta, the new guy?
Yeah.
Really?
That was part of the little rampage he was on.
And it was a guy with a similar kind of rampage, right?
Similar.
Yep. And he's right now competing on the Survivor Series team. Of course, I'm talking about Braun Strowman.
Yeah.
But continue. What happened?
But we'll get to that match later.
Yep.
So William Regal finally gave in after like 3-4 weeks and said, "You know what? You get your rematch. It's gonna be a Takeover Toronto." Nakamura comes out, rips off a neck brace, beats the living fuck out of Joe.
Holy shit!
That's basically the whole build-up.
Wow.
Nothing you didn't expect.
Wow, so that's interesting. But still, I mean, if you look at like the past build-up with Joe and Nakamura, they're sitting in the interview, and then Joe and them are talking about the dojo training in Japan, and in California. And what Joe says is like, because something like a typical heel says, "Oh, it's my dojo," and then Nakamura says, "Oh, it's your dojo? Yeah, my dojo." And then they were going back and forth with it. I mean, there's no reason for a build-up, I think, for this, right?
You don't need a build-up. Just say Joe versus Nakamura.
Yeah, I think it's just Joe versus Nakamura, and I mean, either way,
that's the whole build-up. Yep. Joe versus Nakamura happening at Takeover Toronto.
Right. Well, how about this? Well, I think we pretty much know what's gonna happen, and I think we'll be happy either way with the result. But how about this? Do you think that Joe's gonna walk out and still compete in the next NXT Takeover, or is he gonna end up going to the main roster?
Well, the next Takeover will be the day before the Royal Rumble.
Really?
Did you realize they do it before the big shows?
Yeah. I'm hearing that now they want to make the big 4 pay-per-views, by the way, which we're gonna cover in the next upcoming year.
Only at the RSN podcast.
Only right here at the RSN Wrestling Podcast. But they want to cover basically like a 3-day event, kind of, right? Same kind of thing how Brooklyn was, right?
Brooklyn, WrestleMania, all that.
Damn, it's crazy. And it's kind of crazy how they started right here at SummerSlam, and now they're continuing it with all the other pay-per-views.
But what's crazy, though, is the takeovers have been better than the pay-per-views.
That's true. There's been this trend now where the takeovers have been better, much, much better than the pay-per-views. But it's it's kind of interesting to see that
because they don't have friggin' cheap run-ins from Jon Stewart.
Yeah, that's another thing too. But I mean, also the fact that you don't got a certain buck-tooth, beaver-looking motherfucker running production. Instead, you got an actual wrestler who
knows what the fans want.
Yeah, who knows what the fans want and is in touch with what the vein of the wrestling fan, or quote unquote what they want to call us, marks.
The vanilla internet marks.
Indeed. But the same guy that called Eddie Guerrero a vanilla midget, you could tell him the same thing about what's going on with the WWE roster right now, and basically NXT as a whole. Because did you see any kind of advertisement for Takeover in the past, I'd say 2-3 weeks on WWE television?
No, only on the network.
Only on the network, and how probably the only time they mentioned Takeover was like this past week. That's it. On a little soundbite on the very bottom, where they show a little thing and say Takeover tickets, whatever, right? Like,
if even that much.
Yeah, that's pretty much all they do. I think it burns. Do you think it burns like Kevin Dunn to see that NXT is working this much? Like, it's still going hard now. Like, it's going much better than the WWE roster.
Yeah, because little do people know, he used to run NXT.
Yeah, and his NXT
when it was a horrible thing.
When it was a shit show, exactly. And when it was having people doing obstacle courses. Well, let's take a look at Kevin Dunn's other projects. I mean, for example, Tough Enough.
The
If you look at
rebuild
the
of
past
Tough
few Tough
Enough.
Enough, corny, it's annoying. The people that win don't last that long because they end up just retiring, taking the money, and just going to UFC or MMA or Hollywood doing some other thing. Or you have things like Total Divas, which is just a total cancer show, which is like, oh my god.
And then they get the spin-off.
And then they get the spin-off of Total Bellas, which I think is kind of like, okay, you really want to be known as the guy that made that, and it's just like, okay, it's just a program now, you know? But still, I mean, what are your thoughts on that? Do you think that Kevin Dunn's time is running out in WWE Productive?
I personally think it ran out a while ago.
Yeah, that's a fact. But I think it's soon. There's a time that's going to come where Kevin Dunn's position is going to be out or actually minimized, and then someone else is going to take over. And I hope that happens.
Someone by the name of Paul Heyman.
I hope so. Paul Heyman's a genius. I mean, we said it before. He knows his stuff. He's
Or even
probably
Triple H, you could throw in there.
Well, Triple H is running. He's running a whole bunch of other stuff too, isn't he?
One more thing won't hurt him.
Yeah. Well, that's another thing that he has to take care of. I mean, you've probably seen this picture that he posted out on Twitter, right?
Which one? He posts a lot, actually.
No, like recently he posted a picture of him getting on a jet saying, take. It was like something about Takeover Canada.
Yeah.
And you could see in his eyes, his eyes were red. I don't know if he smoked the blunt with RVD or I don't know what the fuck happened. He looks tired than a motherfucker.
Because when you're running the #1 show, in the company, you're tired.
Yep. And plus, when you're doing,
and he also goes to other countries and tries to recruit the top talents.
Yep. So he's working hard. He's working like ham, 100%.
He works 24/7, 365.
Yep. And I mean, as wrestling fans, we're probably looking at that going, "Damn, this is a hard ass worker." And every time he comes out, everybody calls him the father of NXT. So it's understandable, to give him that kind of pedestal. But so we talk about Joe and Nakamura. What else is on the card?
We have the returning Mickie James versus Asuka.
It's gonna be a good match.
I say that's gonna be a great match also.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel the same way, where it's like it doesn't matter?
It doesn't matter because I think this could possibly be match of the night.
Possibly, yeah. I mean, we'll have to see. I mean, Mickie James hasn't been in WWE TV for almost what was her last appearance? In 2009, 2010.
Almost 10 years now.
Yeah, almost. It's almost a decade. That's crazy. So she hasn't been competing in almost a decade.
Because remember, she went straight from here to TNA.
TNA. I mean, of course, there was issues with her. Of course the bullying situation where they call her Piggy James, this that, and then she ended up going to TNA, having a successful run there, doing all that stuff.
She went to GFW.
GFW indeed, and then she went all over the indies, back and forth, and then she ended up coming back to WWE.
The thing is, it's not like she hasn't stopped wrestling.
Yeah. So
we know she still has it.
Yep, she definitely still has it. But I mean, we still have to see, what she can do. Looking at stars that have come back after about a decade. For example, Goldberg, who's come back after a while. He can't even do a proper sledgehammer without tripping or falling. It's the same kind of deal with you can see anybody basically. But you have someone that's not coming from a long time doing a wrestling match. Do you think ring rust will be a factor in this?
No. So for Mickie James, the last time she fought was, I think, last year.
Really?
Not even. Maybe the beginning of this year. So
yeah,
she should be good.
Right. Well, I mean, here's one thing that we're gonna have to see what we can do about this. We're gonna have to see how this is gonna work out, because the way it's looking, it seems like they're they're kind of leaning towards Asuka because they don't want to put Mickie. You don't want to put Asuka over yet. I think she's becoming like a hot heel right now, or kind of a baby face, right?
I don't even know what she is.
She's kind of like a mix. Like what I see is kind of like a Mystique. Like how Undertaker, when he comes out, is kind of like, okay, he's not a heel, he's not a face. But you see him, you're like, oh shit, you gotta respect the hell out of the dude, right? Just like when he came out on SmackDown this past week, it was pretty crazy when everybody was chanting, "You are, holy shit, holy shit."
You still got it.
Still got it, and he wasn't even wrestling. That's the thing. Same thing. So I mean, but with Asuka, I think she's becoming that level now.
To be honest, I'm not gonna lie. I thought Shane was gonna give his spot up.
Yeah, I really thought the same. Yeah, that was shocking though. Like nothing happened. It was just a warning. But we'll have to see from there. But I'm sticking to this match. I said this in the past probably. I think Asuka is the Undertaker, the female Undertaker of the WWE.
But the thing is, people are getting tired of Asuka though,
As a champion or just as a character?
as a character, because congratulations, you're a year and a half undefeated, but you haven't defended your title.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, I think it's just because there isn't anybody in NXT that lives up to that.
There's one person.
And who's that?
Well,
Liv Morgan?
no, Ember Moon.
Ember Moon? Well, yeah, that's true. I think Ember Moon is
I think Ember could take that title.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here's the thing. Let's think about this. Why did they pick Mickey James instead of, they were obviously going to pick, I think Trish Stratus was the name.
Trish was the original one, but then
she got pregnant. Yeah. And then, of course, Mickey James now is taking over for Trish. So, I mean, why would you think that they do that, besides the fact that it's Toronto, the hometown?
Well, the reason why they originally picked Trish is because she's from Toronto.
Yep.
So give her the homecoming.
Yep. But do you think there's another reason, maybe?
I don't know.
I feel like it's the fact that, they don't have any stars that can match up to Asuka, because everybody else is pretty much on the main roster. Because if you think about this, the draft happened, they got raided. Carmella left, Alexa Bliss left. You can name a whole bunch of names. Nia Jax left. Who's left now? Who's left in the NXT roster that can match up to Asuka and at least put some kind of validity on her? That's one thing.
Like I said, the only one worthy talking of, Ember.
I think, but still, Ember is still, still fresh off her run. You have to see from there. But definitely, she has a whole indie, following. So why not? I think that's what people are waiting for. But we'll have to see from there. But I mean, this is a good thing to put it off and then see what's gonna happen for the next takeover. Most likely, the next takeover we'll see something. But who do you think goes over in this match? Do you think Mickey James is gonna win the belt?
I think so.
Really? Interesting. I mean, I don't think they're gonna do that. I think they want to keep Asuka fresh. They want to keep her strong, and of course, that means not having her lose.
You never know.
Yeah, we'll have to see from there. But also, that's the one thing. Next thing, we have Bobby Roode versus Ty Dillinger, right?
Yes, two Canadians.
Two Canadians. Well, Ty Dillinger's from Niagara Falls, right?
The Canada part of Niagara Falls.
Ooh, I see. That's why. So, but technically, you got the captain of Team Canada in TNA
versus a former WWE signee. Got released, came back, got released again, then came back.
And a perfect 10 at that. Yes. I think this match, it can go either way. I think it's going to be a phenomenal match. I think this will be a match of the night.
It's possible. All these 5 matches could be match of the night.
Yeah, I mean, well, you told me it was a stacked card. I'm looking at this 5 matches. That's pretty stacked indeed. I mean, when you look at that, like, if you were looking at like Survivor Series, it's only 3 matches or 4 matches. You probably say, oh, that's not a stacked card. But when you look at the names like of this NXT card, every time it's big. It's big. It's stacked.
Who's the least popular name on this card? The Authors of Pain?
Yeah, it's hard to tell. Authors of Pain, maybe, but still. Well, I mean, that moves on to Authors of Pain versus TM61.
I say TM61. I love them.
I think Authors of Pain are going to take this.
I love TM61.
Wait, am I reading this right? Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic Tournament Final with Paul Ellering suspended above the ring inside a cage.
Yeah, because in the past 2 matches, he has basically done the heel manager thing and made the Authors of Pain win. So TM61 complained.
I feel like this is what's his name? This is Vince Russo. All Vince Russo right here.
No, this is actually, to be honest, William Regal's idea.
Really?
Because he wants to bring back like the old school things where the manager is part of the match but not part of the match.
So he's gonna be suspended above the ring? Like, what does that mean? He's gonna be what? On the top of the ring?
He's gonna be hanging over the ring in a cage.
Really?
Like, remember Judy Bagwell?
Yeah.
Same thing.
Really? That's what the fuck? That's, oh my god.
It's good.
Well, that's gonna be interesting to see. I mean, he's done like run-ins, right? Like interfered and everything.
Yeah, he's put Like he's grabbed the opponent's head and like hit him,
Right.
put the foot on the ropes to break up a count when the authors are going to lose,
Right.
like that. Heel manager stuff.
Classic heel shit, right?
Exactly.
Right, right. So I mean, I think it's well, I think this one, I think it could be a good match too, because of course TM61, they're phenomenal, of course, but I think
So
Authors of Pain, they're starting to become this big, great tag team now, where they're like, they're trying to become like Demolition level.
I still think they're kind of stiff though.
Yeah, well, definitely they are. I mean, well, here's one thing. One of the guys there, his name is I forgot his name. Uh, he's an Indian. He's an Indian guy. He's a power lifter. He's a power lifter in Brazil.
Oh,
And he
he's
was
the one that they were going hard for.
Yeah, his name is Sunny. Yeah, Sunny Singh. Sunny Singh. This guy, like, I mean, if you ever seen the past matches, he talks in like another language, right? While he's shouting at the opponent, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's actually in the language, and when you hear what he's saying in the language, it's kind of it's kind of like abuse. It's all abuse words. It's like you motherfucker, what the fuck you doing like that? Like he's going all out in the ring, cursing these people out while he's beating the shit out of them.
Wow.
So I mean, it's crazy. Like if you hear the things that he's doing, he's saying, "Oh, you're he's like you sister fucker, you motherfucker, get the fuck over here, come over," like this that, and he's like going to curse him out loud right in front of people. Like, come on, that's got to be something there, But still, I think it's we'll have to see from there what's gonna happen. I think this is gonna go for Authors of Pain. I think they're starting to become this tag team now. But you're right, they definitely are stiff. But
And that leads us into the other tag team match.
Yep.
A 2 out of 3 falls match for the tag team titles. The Revival versus #DIY.
Yep. AKA Glorious Moms. I think their name should be Glorious Moms.
I think it's going to be them taking it.
Definitely, I think they're both going
to. It's their time.
If they don't take it tonight, I swear to God, I'm
go to the main roster.
Yeah, if they don't, they should get something in return. But I think that if they lose, it's going to be very, very disappointing. Because then people are going to start saying, holy shit, now NXT is going down. So we're going to have to see it from there. I hope they don't fuck this up. If they end up going ahead and giving this title, this match back to the Revival, that makes no sense at all then. It's just like, okay, so they won, but then they lost. It's like, okay, so they lost, okay, so what the fuck? What's the point of them even being built up to this way,
I think it's their time, though.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, either way, I think either way, someone's going to the main roster.
I think it's going to be the Revival because Ciampa and Gargano are going to win it, finally.
Yep. Hopefully they will. I mean, well, you got to look at their whole journey. They started from all the way in, the Cruiserweight Classic, back and forth, going back and then.
You can even go before that.
Yep.
You go before that in the Indies.
Mm-hmm. And there were what? There were singles competitors, right?
They were originally single competitors.
Mm-hmm.
Then they came in as the 2 big signees.
Right.
That who signed?
Triple H, not a stupid ass Bucky Beavertooth motherfucker.
Exactly.
Yep. But I mean, it's still interesting. It's a big card. Of course, a lot of things on the line.
Even though it's 5 matches.
5 matches, yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, and it's gonna be big. I mean, well, let's look at the opposite. So we go to the main roster. 6 matches on the main card, and I guess one of them is a pre-show match.
The kickoff show.
A kickoff show match, but
I actually don't even see one.
Well, here's one thing. They said it's gonna start early, isn't it?
7.
7 o'clock, right?
So that there might not even be a kickoff match.
They might just have a preview where or maybe a segment. You never know. But it's still
so that
gonna
means they're probably gonna start the pre-show at 6:30, just talking.
Yeah, just talking and then going straight into it. But so I mean, we talked about pretty much the big 3 matches right there: Team Raw versus Team SmackDown. The what'd you call it? 5 members of the biggest stars. The 5 women, and the 5 biggest tag teams on each brand facing off against one another. And I think we both said that either way, I think it's we're gonna have a lot of spots, right?
Yeah.
Either way, things are gonna happen. There's gonna be cool spots. There's gonna be things that are gonna be interesting. But one thing that always comes out of it is the word survivor. There's always 1 or 2 people called survivors, and those people end up being
survivors.
Yep, and then they end up getting pushed into the direction, right?
Usually.
Yep. I mean, look at Randy Orton in 2004. He won the Survivor Series and ended up becoming world champ later on, and got all that. Dolph Ziggler. Who else?
Super Cena.
Yep, Cena also. Yeah, I mean Cena, of course, he won and basically got that push again more and more. But
His 8 million pushes.
yep, I mean if you look at last year, like let's take a look back. 2015 Survivor Series, and now you kind of see this kind of thing, right? Where it's like, it's a total different change, right?
I'm looking at the card right now.
Yep. Well, I mean, let's talk about the build. If you look at 2015, it was basically I think it was what was it? In 2015 it was I think Team New Day versus Team I forgot what it was. Thinking some generic team. I think what was it? I think it was
It
like.
was New Day and Sheamus and Barrett versus Ryback, the Usos, and the Dragons.
Wow, that has Kevin Dunn written all over it for sure. Because
Here, listen to this match. You can tell how this is a year ago.
Mhm.
Charlotte versus Paige.
Wow, really, that was 1 year ago.
Yeah.
Interesting.
The Brothers of Destruction versus the Wyatts.
Wow. Well, that was I think the big build because it was like 25 years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, if you look at the traditional
Wow,
match,
25 years, and The Rock made 20 years this year.
yeah, The Rock went. I mean, I'm surprised that he didn't come back. Will he come back tonight? Maybe you never know.
Actually, that leads into one of the rumors I heard.
Really?
The Rock will be interfering in a match, supposedly tomorrow.
Tonight? Tomorrow night. Really?
And then also another run, which everyone probably has heard because I leaked it.
Mm-hmm.
AJ Styles will be feuding with Undertaker because AJ will be costing Team SmackDown the match.
Yeah, it seems that way. I mean, depending on how it is, I mean, it seems like Raw is gonna take the victory for this one. And what is it? SmackDown, I think, is gonna lose this time. I think it's gonna be the first time that you're gonna see Team Raw actually win and Team SmackDown actually lose. Because it's been a while since Team Raw won, if you think about it. I mean,
Yeah.
of course.
Well, something they won was the WrestleMania thing, Team Johnny versus Team Teddy.
Right. So they won. Oh, right. Yes. I mean, they won, of course, by shenanigans. True that. I mean, that's one thing.
Because Zack Ryder got kicked in the nuts.
Yep. By Eve Torres.
By Eve Hosky Torres.
Eve Hosky Torres. Yes, I remember that. Clear. But I mean, if you look at those kind of, those kind of Raw versus SmackDown matches versus these, what would you say? You prefer these more, right?
Yeah, because back then it was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
it was like a comedy show.
Yeah, it was a comedy show. There was no build up. There was nothing. No story. This one,
the build up was a week before the match. They actually announced the teams.
Yeah, I mean, but if you look
at it was weeks.
Right. Well, I mean, look at the whole what do you call it? The whole build up for this. The whole segment on Raw, that was phenomenal, right?
Oh, these Raw and SmackDown had the two best segments so far.
Definitely. I think that the two ending show segments were like, that's how it should be every single week. I think that's how it should be for sure. Some kind of thing where it's like that gets everything good going.
Well,
I mean, of course,
that's a freaking pay-per-view every 2 weeks. They could do it.
Yeah, they could. I mean, well, they could find a way of doing it, of making their own, like each brand like that, and they're like that. Because I know back in the day when they were able to do it, with of course there was a certain what you call it? What should I say? Certain revolutionary by the name of Paul Heyman, who was writing for one of the shows, right?
SmackDown.
For SmackDown, right? Exactly. And of course, that's when we watched it. And it was like, holy shit! Every time we watched it, at the end, you were open with.
There's always something that caught your eye.
Yeah, it caught your eye, of course, and you were always talking about it. Now it's just like, okay, all right,
that happened.
Yeah, that happened. All right, let me just go to sleep, do whatever, done. And then, of course, I mean, well, this past Raw and SmackDown, I think they're not going to be forgotten for a long time. They're going to live there for a long time.
We're going to be talking about it until Royal Rumble.
Definitely. But I mean, this kind of sets it up, I think, because of course, first time you had these kind of lineups, basically the different kinds of matches and possibilities that can happen. So that's something good. But let's go down the list right there before we go into Brock and Goldberg. Team Raw versus Team SmackDown, the 5 top and the 5 top. Who do you think is going to take that one?
Raw, because of the whole Styles versus
Taker
build up.
Yeah, I think definitely. I think because if Taker came out, it's got to be for a reason. They're definitely gonna do
And
something.
he basically threatened whoever fucks this over, you're gonna deal with me.
Yep. And I think it's definitely gonna be something because, and of course, he's probably gonna sign some kind of deal where he's there for a little longer, right?
Oh no, he's doing it week by week now,
Yeah.
so he's
Yeah.
gonna be there until Mania.
Yeah. So we'll have to see what happens from there. So next one, women, Raw versus Team SmackDown. I think either way, it can go either way. I'll still be happy with the result. What do you think?
Again, I think Raw because Becky Lynch said, "I'm gonna turn heel when you least expect it."
Here's
So
what
I
I think.
think tomorrow might actually be the day.
Well, here's what I think. All right. So how about this? I think this. I think Alexa Bliss will be one of the survivors for tomorrow.
Oh yeah,
She has to be because, of course, they got
I'll
to give
go
her.
Alexa.
Yep. And then Team Raw versus Team SmackDown, the tag teams.
There's not really could care less.
Yeah, I could care less too. I mean, I think everybody's getting sick of the New Day now. It's just like, you know, they have to go soon, probably. I hate to say it, but I
Well,
think,
they're less than a month away from breaking Demolition's record.
right, right. But I mean, still, I mean, they've been for a long, long time. So at some point, they're gonna have to do something where they build it up. So we'll have to see. But I agree. I mean, it's either way. It's just like who cares? It'll be an entertaining match. We'll have to see how it goes though, what the spots are and all that. But then we have two big title matches, right? Interbrand title matches, should I say? Basically, you got on one side Brian Kendrick versus Kalisto for the cruiserweight title, and then you got the Miz and Maurice versus Sami Zayn.
I think it's gonna be Sammy.
You think Sami's gonna win?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Really?
I don't
Well,
know
do you
why. I have
think?
a feeling that they might actually give him somewhat of a push.
Yeah, I mean that can happen. But I mean, well, here's one thing too. If I think that I'm having a feeling that Sami Zayn is probably gonna win too. But do you think they're gonna have him? What you call it? Do you think they're trying to go for like a unification of the titles?
I don't know because I don't know what they're doing with Rusev and Roman
Yeah. Well, I mean,
because they randomly just stopped that feud in
well,
the
I mean,
middle. Basically, it seemed like.
right. I mean, well, I think. Well, here's a rumor too. I think that they're saying, of course, that I think by Roadblock they're already advertising that it's gonna be champion versus champion, right?
Yeah, Roman versus Kevin, but I think that's just like a throw-in match to make the card somewhat good.
I hope, because because the worst thing that you want to see is Roman Reigns
As a double champ.
basically getting the same. Yeah, no, basically, yeah. One as double champ. Two, have him go ahead and win. Like, let's say go into the Royal Rumble, and then WrestleMania comes up, and he's in the main event somehow. I think that's what Vince's big wet dream is to see that, to see okay, Roman holding the belt again one more
Hey,
time.
they have another match actually for that card
Really?
for
Which
Roadblock.
one? Yeah, yeah. I mean,
It's Seth
I mean,
Rollins versus Chris Jericho.
yeah. They're trying to build that one. I mean, that of course. I mean, I think
Oh,
they're probably.
that would be a great feud though.
Yeah, it will be. That's the
You
first
know
time they're
what?
actually walking out.
Guess what?
Yeah.
You just made the list.
List for what?
For being a stupid idiot for not going to ProWrestlingOpinion.com.
That's the best plug I've ever seen right there. Exactly. I should have gone to fucking PWO, man. PWO, Pro Wrestling Opinion. Check it out. Otherwise, you're a stupid idiot.
And you make the list of Jericho.
And you make the list.
Read the list, man.
Drink it in, man. That's how it is.
I love when he does his stupid little lines.
But he's a genius, I think. I think he's probably one of the best heels right now.
He's 46 years old. Still doing it.
He's a legend.
Like, yeah, Taker's a legend,
Yeah.
but Jericho competes week after week.
Yep.
At 46.
Yep. And
he canceled his tour to continue his contract for the year.
Yep. He's been extending it for like the past, I think, few months I've been hearing, right?
Yeah.
It's been like to a month basis where he's like, there's no long-term plan for him, but they just get him in and say, go ahead. You want to do it, go ahead.
Which means he probably is going to take 2017 off to go tour.
Yep. Well,
I won't be mad.
Well, here's what's interesting. I think they're kind of teasing for this Kevin Owens Chris Jericho thing. Do you think they're going to give Chris Jericho another title run, maybe possibly with the Universal title?
Possibly.
I feel like they're trying to do that. It's kind of like because
And to be honest, I won't mind it
yeah, I wouldn't mind either. I mean, of course, it's
because he's the
Triple H.
first undisputed champion.
Yep,
He beat
and
The
then he's gonna
Rock
be
and Austin in the same night. Has anyone done that?
right.
Nope.
Mhm. He's held the world title. He's held the WWE title.
He's held
So
the
why not
IC
have him
title.
hold? Yep. Why not have him hold the Universal title? That'll complete his record pretty much.
Why not?
Yeah, I mean it's gonna make sense possibly. We'll have to see from there. But so then next thing we have also SmackDown versus Raw for the Cruiserweight title. Brian Kendrick representing Raw, Kalisto representing SmackDown for the Cruiserweight title. And of course, the stipulation is that if Kalisto wins, Cruiserweight title is going to be on SmackDown. What are your thoughts on this?
Kalisto.
Kalisto? I'm thinking Brian Kendrick because it's like, they got to have him keep going. And of course, Raw needs the ratings. Cruiserweight equals ratings. And who doesn't want to see Cedric Alexander be on Raw? Right?
Yeah.
But then that leaves us with one last match, the main event. Brock Lesnar with Paul Heyman versus Goldberg. A match 10 years in the making.
You can't really say that.
Well, let's take it back. WrestleMania 20, New York City.
Do we have to bring that up?
We have to. Yep, we got to. We brought up Kevin Dunn. We haven't brought up a certain red-haired bitch.
She's not redheaded anymore.
Well, I don't give a fuck what color. It could be shit colored. She's still a piece of shit.
She has black hair.
Well, she's a black piece of shit. Well, quote unquote, not to be racist, but she's a dark piece of shit. Still, it's just like what the fuck. But nonetheless, yeah. I mean, we still gotta bring it up, man. That's what it is. WrestleMania 20, Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg. Both men are leaving. New York City crowd. Everybody's chanting fuck you," in the top of their lungs. Madison Square Garden. Goldberg goes over. Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar and Stone Cold lock horns. Next thing you know, throws a middle finger right up at the crowd. Fuck all of you.
And he gets stunned. That was the best part of the match.
Yep. And then both of them basically go their separate ways. Of course,
Brock goes to UFC.
Yep, Brock Lesnar goes to UFC, does football, all that stuff, ends up coming back in WWE. Goldberg, of course, is retired.
Did nothing. He did movies.
Well, I mean, he wrestled in Congo, I think. He wrestled, WrestleFest. I think something like that.
The one that they did in
City Field.
The Legends of Wrestling.
Yep, Legend of Wrestling. I mean, he's made some appearances here and there, but not a full-time athlete. And I mean, in the past, he said, I don't ever want to go back to WWE because there's always people talking shit. But
and boom.
Yep. He lands on the cover of 2K17. Not WWE. Was it? No, he said 2K WWE 17, right?
Some shit like that.
Yeah. They're promoting this. They're flying you out to places to promote this video game, and you can't even get the name right? Come on, man. But
2K WWE 17, 37.
Botchamania. He's going to be inducted to Botcha City. Oh, yeah, we had our Botch City, right?
Induct someone.
We got to induct two names every time we bring this up. Botch City. I'm saying Goldberg.
I'm saying the legend of botching promos, Scott Steiner.
Scott Steiner. We haven't brought him up for a while.
I have half the brain and I'm half the man of this guy. What?
Like, what the fuck? That's fucking this guy, man. But
you could go to YouTube and just type in Scott Steiner promos.
Yep.
You'll sit there. You'll be entertained for like an hour.
No, just look at insult. I think insults and threats. His shit is funny. Like when you see it, he just goes off and say some gibberish, and you're like, "What the fuck did he just say?" But it's just fucking.
Then we have to bring in
subtitles and shit.
Our promo Hall of Fame and shoot Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Iron Sheik.
Iron Sheik, indeed. Well, Iron Sheik, I think, does better promos than Scott Steiner. At least you can understand him.
I think Iron Sheik on a bad day does a better promo.
That's true, definitely. Well, here's one thing. Well, I think Goldberg, he basically botched up because, of course, this is his first time after a long time coming back, especially being in front of a crowd like that. So, I mean, it's understandable, of course. He's probably nervous. He's probably like, holy shit. I haven't been around that. Oh, my God. How the fuck do I get over this? So, it's still something. Well, how about this? What are your thoughts on that second week when Brock Lesnar came out and the crowd was chanting for Brock Lesnar and not Goldberg?
Because it was
Did you hear what happened?
because it was in Minnesota.
Yep. And, of course, Vince, I heard, was pissed, right?
You don't bring the top heel to his hometown and expect to get booed.
Yeah. For that, Vince, you're in the Botch City Hall of Fame also. You're an inductee.
You know what? You know what Vince made?
What?
He made the list.
Made the list. I mean, that's true. I mean, why would you have your top heel in his hometown?
I don't even know if you consider him the heel.
Well, he's not. Yeah, he's technically not. He's just a fucking badass. That's one thing, of course.
There's heels, there's faces, and there's Brock Lesnar.
Yep. I mean, well, here's one thing. When I heard that whole promo, got Vince pissed. Like, he was irate.
Oh, yeah. He was fuming because I read that they even cut it short.
Yeah, they cut it short right there. I mean, you could see it in the video. Like, you'll see it, and it actually happened right there. Like,
you see Brock loving it. You see Paul loving it.
Yeah, you see Paul and Brock going like, they're.
I think Paul was getting pissed though because it was cutting off his talk time.
No, I mean I think he was getting kind of livid. He was being kind of like, he was kind of being like, like holy shit, like what the fuck is happening? But then at the same time, he's like, what the fuck, like oh my god, now I'm not doing my job. So then when I think one of the producers probably like gave him a heads up saying, oh shit, cut the promo, fuck it, and then he just got pissed from there. I think.
But I really think he was just getting pissed that he couldn't talk.
Yeah, I think he was just flustered at the fact that he couldn't cut a full promo and actually do that.
He was loving it though. They were cheering, but he was definitely getting pissed.
And you see at one point where I think at some point they were like Goldberg sucks, and then when they found out that the promo was getting cut, they started chanting They started booing Brock Lesnar. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, oh my god, now you guys just totally fucked everything up. But then nonetheless, I mean, the build-up, it seems like it's kind of, I mean, it's not the best build-up. It's okay. I mean,
last week's promo was good.
Yeah, last week's promo was pretty good, but still, we have to see.
When they had to bring in the rent-a-cops.
Yep. Well, the rent-a-cops, I mean, I heard two of them got injured.
Yeah, one actually got the kick of death.
From Brock? No, he got the push of death.
No, Brock hurt one, and then Goldberg hurt one with the kick.
Yep. Well, I mean, I heard that Goldberg's injured from that.
Supposedly.
Yeah, and it's it's kind of like, okay, now what's gonna happen for this Survivor Series main event? Are they gonna kill it?
Well, he said he's fine now.
Yeah.
He said it was a minor shoulder injury, but nothing like, oh my god, major.
All right. So I mean, well, that brings us to the result then. What do you think? Is it gonna be Goldberg one off and then done, or do you think he's gonna just lose and then that's it?
Goldberg wins, and then signs for longer.
Really? I mean, he had that infamous promo that said, you're not only next, but you're last. So I think it's kind of clear that that's it. This is the last shot, and he's done. But
but how many Triple H lost a career versus streak match and still fought the next year?
Yeah, that's true. At this point, it really doesn't matter, right? That's like
I don't believe anyone retiring since Mark Henry.
Yeah, just like earlier this year when Mark Henry killed that one, I think for sure. But
I'm coming home. No, you're not.
And then fucking does the best thing ever. He freaking
World's Strongest Slam Cena.
World's Strongest Slam Cena. That was dope. I was like, this guy's a legend. That's it. That's the best.
I'm not gonna lie. My favorite thing between them two is I think it was the night after Mania. Mm-hmm. This is a raunchy crowd. They want sex with chocolate.
Yeah, yeah.
When they were chanting sexual with chocolate.
Yep.
That was funny.
And he was happy. He was like, what the fuck is going
on? What WrestleMania was that? Was that 26? 27?
27, I think.
It was one of those two, 26, 27.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Do you
but
know
still,
somewhere besides the network? Is there anywhere else I could like read about it or review it?
yes, you definitely can. There's a certain
Where?
three-lettered site, and it's not a dirt sheet. It's not a magazine site. It's not a certain observer out there.
It's not run by Dave Meltzer, right?
It's not by Dave Meltzer either. No, no, no. It's by
But
the
Dave Meltzer is the greatest person in the world.
no. I think you're mistaken. I think you should definitely look at this guy. His name is Nick Lopez. He's the guy that runs
What's so
PWO.
good? What's so good about him?
He
He's
gives
not
up
better
to
than Meltzer.
nah, bro. Listen, he gives full up to date coverage. You know, unlike Dave Meltzer, who you really
What
can't
is
believe shit.
what does this Nick Lopez do?
He is the Nick Lopez, not just any Nick Lopez. He's the Nick Lopez. He knows his stuff. He's the guy that runs PWO, Pro Wrestling Opinion. He gives up to date minute by minute coverage. Check it out, Pro Wrestling Opinion. Give it a look.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
I'll do that.
Definitely. I mean, it's one thing. Also, you know, of course, there's the tagline. Also, I think a certain, a certain big guy knows it, right?
Yeah.
What's the tagline, big guy?
It's that time now, right?
It's that time indeed.
Reading is fundamental. Reading about wrestling puts you over.
There you go. Bang, bang, click, click, right there. You got it.
You're
That's
gonna be
basically-
over like the list of Jericho,
Yep. That's how it is.
the scarf of Jericho,
Yep. The mic of Jericho.
anything of Jericho,
Everything of Jericho, indeed.
all Jericho, everything.
All Jericho, everything, all Jericho, every day. But, I mean, what do you think about this match? Final thoughts before we're about to wrap it up. Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg. Who do you think's going over?
I think Goldberg's gonna win, and
Number seven?
he's gonna do something to like probably go to the Rumble,
Really?
like probably another 2 month contract,
Right.
and then sign another one after the Rumble for Mania. So Mania will be like the send off.
That might happen. I mean, well, here's one thing. You're right about you really can't believe anybody now because it's like, okay, look at earlier this year with, what was
Plus,
it?
he's probably gonna headline also.
Yep. But I mean, look at Shane and Taker. Shane and Taker, if Shane lost, he would leave WWE and end up, that's it. Just leave.
If he won, he was running Raw.
If he won, he was running Raw, but he ended up running SmackDown. So how can he leave it now? But same thing, like it's kind of like this with Brock, Goldberg. I think Brock's gonna win. Goldberg will be back probably for the next few appearances if they sign him, which I doubt they will. But this will lead up into Royal Rumble, where Brock Lesnar is gonna face none other than Kevin Owens for the WWE Universal title.
I think so.
Because I mean, they've been saying for a while that Brock Lesnar needs another title.
That'll
Why
probably
not
happen
have-
at Mania,
Yep. I mean, well, why not have it against Kevin Owens?
and then have AJ versus Taker.
Yeah. Well, think about this: Phenom versus Phenomenal, right?
Phenom
prize
versus
fighter.
Phenomenal.
Yeah. The prize fighter versus the Beast.
True.
It looks dope though, no lie. I mean, you got on one side Brock Lesnar, the other side Taker, but on the other side you got two upcoming indie stars, two established guys versus two indie guys.
Who are
No
established?
better way of doing it. It's a good way to transfer over. Huh?
It'll be good.
Yeah, we'll have to see from there, but still, nonetheless, it's already 7:02. Takeover is coming up in I think almost another hour.
Starts at 8, but the pre-show is at 7:30.
Right. So I mean, of course, it's gonna be an interesting show to see. Hopefully, we'll see some returns. Hopefully, see some things happening. You never know.
Some surprises.
Yep. I mean, let's take a recap of in Brooklyn what happened. In NXT, Takeover Brooklyn 2, you had, of course, a certain what do you call it? Japanese star come back. Hideo Itami came back. First time ever. After a long time.
In over a year.
Over a whole year. So it's kind of like, holy shit. Like, you never expected that. He ran in on Austin Aries. Beat the shit out of him.
If Aries didn't get injured, that match would have happened tonight.
Yep. Well,
if he didn't break his orbital bone because of Nakamura.
Yep.
I'm not blaming Nakamura.
Nakamura's a legend.
Aries even said he missed time that his the head pop up.
Mm-hmm. But that's the thing also. I mean, NXT, they can do these kind of rough style matches, but when WWE does it, it's a big deal. It's like, oh my god, we're gonna have to put you in the hospital. Oh my god, holy shit. Because of course they got more public appeal and stuff, so they're kind of like, okay, we got to watch out now for this and this and this and this. Honestly, it's kind of like the NXT roster is all real wrestling. The main roster is all a bunch of pussies.
No, they're not wrestlers. They're entertainers.
Oh, right. I made a mistake. It's professional wrestlers versus sports entertainers, right?
That is correct.
Indeed, it is. And I think a certain person wants that said. They don't want it to be called professional wrestling because that's a dirty word, right?
That's a no-no word.
That's a no-no word indeed. That's the word that we don't speak of because
it's a curse.
It's a curse. It's something that goes against what the program is. But it's nonetheless, it's still kind of messed up that they still want to call it that way. But
it's like watching Eva Marie wrestle. It's a no-no.
Yep. Well, here's one thing. This whole pay-per-view, these two pay-per-views that are going on, it's an international pay-per-view. We can say that, right?
Yeah, you can say that.
Pretty much. It's basically NXT Takeover in Canada and then Survivor Series in Canada as well. So that's going to be kind of interesting to see how that's going to fall out. But nonetheless, we'll have to see if any appearances come up, any surprises. It can happen. You never know.
Anything can happen in NXT and
for sure.
And the other show.
Yeah, well, here's one thing that we can say also, that after Survivor Series, everybody's been talking about what's going to happen for WrestleMania
because this is, like we said, this is the season.
Yeah, basically this is the start of unofficial start of WrestleMania season. So stay tuned, a lot of stuff. By the way, you saw the trailer in the beginning. It's on YouTube. Check it out. We got a whole bunch of stuff coming up in 2017. We got a Legends podcast coming up. So basically I'd say next month, we're going to basically do actually not next month. Next month, we're going to do actually a year in review podcast, should I say.
It's our anniversary, end of year anniversary.
Yeah, end of the anniversary where we go back, talk about all the matches and the whole year card.
Superstars.
Yep. And we go in depth with it. So we're going to give out awards, superstars, all kinds of categories, everywhere. You name it. But we're also going to have in January a Legends podcast, basically where we're going to talk about legends and all that stuff, everything from the 80s, 90s, everybody. Also, indeed, we're also going to have in the near future, Rich has a friend. I got someone. We're probably going to have basically a podcast on video games, basically all the professional wrestling video games throughout the years. And we'll talk about what's going on and all that stuff. That's, again, in the works. So there's a whole bunch of stuff going on.
Well, my friend already said he'll do it.
Oh, he'll do it?
Yeah. He just wants to date, basically.
Cool. I'm talking to my guy. He said he's still going on it. So he's still I'm still having a conversation with him, see if we can get in. So if anything, definitely we'll keep in contact. But also, we're gonna do this for you guys also. So we of course never
we do not charge you. Remember that. We do not charge. We do not want money for this.
Yep.
We do it for the love of the industry.
Indeed, we do. And of course, you check out at RSN Podcast on Twitter, up to date. News, all that stuff, rumor mill stuff. Rich gets it before anybody else, so he got his ways for it to doing it.
Don't worry how. I just have ways.
Yep, he has his ways of doing it. But
don't ask questions.
Yep, that's
just sit back, read, and enjoy.
Indeed. And also, you check out Pro Wrestling Opinion. Great site, up-to-date news coverage, minute by minute. Like I said many times, you basically gonna read it and you literally
view it in your head.
Yeah, you review it right in your head. You
see the whole show in your head.
Indeed, that's how it is.
As I say, Nick breaks it down so you could picture everything except for what, because you have to say both words: the wrestler or the entertainer, depending which company you're reading about.
Yep,
is wearing. You can picture everything except for what they're wearing.
Yep, that's a fact. It's still, again, we offer the full package here. We have podcast, we have the rumor mill stuff, and we also have the reviews and all that stuff, also the up-to-date, coverage. So you can't get any better than that. This is our RSN Wrestling Podcast, of course. We're still going. Three guys.
What more do you want?
What more do you want, indeed? That's how it is. Be sure to check out the trailer. Be sure to check out for updates. Also, check out us on Facebook, on YouTube, on Google+, all the other social media outlets. And the Twitter page at RSN Podcast. We'll see you guys out.
See you guys. Enjoy the weekend.
Enjoy and have a good Thanksgiving.
NXT and Survivor Series.
Also, and have a good holidays for Thanksgiving. So those of you celebrating.
Yeah, because the next time we'll talk to you is after Thanksgiving.
Yep, indeed. And we're gonna have our next shoot podcast also. So stay tuned for that. Also, a lot more coming. See you guys out.
See you guys.